I heard they call Gagey, but Gagey.
Makhachev spilled the beans over the matter. Certainly, he revealed that they initially had Justin Gaethje in mind to step in for Charles Oliveira. That's right, Gaethje, the man known for his explosive fighting style.
I heard they call Gagey, but Gagey say
On the edge. Well, the MMA Fight 294 card just keeps on surprising us. Not even a day after they shook things up with a new main event, they've hit us with more changes. Now we've got a new co-main event to talk about. At first, it was supposed to be Khamzat Chimaev squaring off against Paulo Costa, and that had everyone buzzing. Then a twist was spotted. Costa had to go under the knife for elbow surgery a few weeks back, and that bout went up in smoke. UFC 294 in Abu Dhabi is keeping us on our toes, that's for sure.
Costa's hurt, all the rumors that are flying around, we got it done. So, the number 4 welterweight in the world, Khamzat Chimaev, is moving up the middleweight, and he will face the number 1 welterweight in the world, Kamaru Usman. So, number 1 versus number 4 at middleweight, Usman versus Chimaev. I will see you in Abu Dhabi.
Now, according to MMA Fighting, Paulo Costa's partner and manager, Tamara Alves, spilled the beans on why he won't be making it to the event. There's an active infection in his right elbow, and that's a no-go for medical clearance. Costa went through a second surgery for this infection just this past Tuesday, and guess what? He's got a third one scheduled for Friday. Talk about a tough situation. Alves also made it clear that Costa didn't keep his injury a secret from the UFC. This change in the co-main event is just the latest twist in the saga. And remember, it all started less than 24 hours after we found out Charles Oliveira wouldn't be headlining the UFC 294 main event because of a sparring mishap. Surely UFC 294 is turning into a roller coaster of surprises, an epic surprise for UFC 294 champ. Recently, Paulo Costa won't be able to face Khamzat Chimaev due to medical reasons in the UFC main event 294. While on the other side, Dana White, the UFC CEO, doesn't do things by halves. In a whirlwind move, they brought in none other than the former welterweight champ Kamaru Usman to step up on short notice and take on Chimaev at middleweight. Now, on paper, this matchup was already on everyone's radar, and it's about to get even more epic. Dana White recently told Kevin Isle of Yahoo Sports that the winner of this showdown between Khamzat Chimaev and Kamaru Usman will be in line for the next shot at the middleweight title. Talk about upping the stakes. He stated, "Dana White just told me that the Chimaev-Usman winner will get the next title shot barring injury, etc." Interestingly, Dana White dropped the bombshell about the winner of Khamzat Chimaev versus Kamaru Usman getting a shot at the middleweight title. This twist also affects the landscape for Sean Strickland, who's currently without an opponent. Dricus du Plessis seemed like the next in line, but it appears that he'll be passed over. And guess what? There is no immediate rematch for Israel Adesanya, despite his wishes. Who knows how they'll approach it? But you have to think that with the Costa fight, Khamzat probably had to be thinking about going out and taking him down, White told Yahoo Sports. But with Usman and his wrestling, it could turn into more of a stand-up war. Due to the clear claims by Dana White, it is not only this fight turning into a title eliminator, but Dana White himself is buzzing with excitement to see how Kamaru Usman and Khamzat Chimaev square off against each other. So the UFC 294 storyline keeps evolving, and it's a must-watch event for all the MMA fans out there. Guys, if you're enjoying the video, we'd love your support. Just hit that subscribe button to motivate us to bring you more exciting content. McGregor's big return for 2024. Here, the UFC just announced their first ever event in Saudi Arabia. And do you know what? Conor McGregor couldn't be more thrilled. He called this event incredible. Now, I am pretty sure that you understand his comment, right? The prospect of a McGregor comeback in Saudi Arabia has fans buzzing. But hold on. Because Saudi Arabia is testing the waters with a fight night event rather than a massive pay-per-view to start. It's a strategic move as Saudi Arabia has been making waves in various sports recently, from football to golf to boxing. Eventually, they're hosting Tyson Fury's mega bout against former UFC champ Francis Ngannou on October 28th. Some people are calling it sports washing, while the kingdom insists it's all about diversification and boosting their economy. Whereas this UFC event is happening in partnership with the Saudi General Entertainment Authority during Riyadh's Season Festival. So March of 2024 is looking pretty exciting in the world of combat sports. McGregor reacted to news of the announcement by posting, "Huge congratulations to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the UFC on the major announcement. Incredible news. I am honored. Bravo, Turki Al-Sheikh." However, the UFC has been no stranger to the Middle East, especially Abu Dhabi. They've held several events there, and it seems they're keeping that tradition going. UFC 294 is right around the corner, and they're heading back to Abu Dhabi next Saturday for a massive showdown. The main event's got Alexander Volkanovski and Islam Mokaev going head-to-head, with Volkanovski stepping in for Charles Oliveira on pretty short notice. And guess what? The UFC pulled off some magic again by bringing in Kamaru Usman to square off against Khamzat Chimaev in the co-main event after Paulo Costa had to drop out. Let's see what UFC holds for his fans in the future. Mokaev had some words for Paddy Pimblett. In the last, there's no sugarcoating, but there's some serious beef between Mokaev and the fast-rising UK sensation Paddy Pimblett. They're not exactly sending each other holiday cards. Lately, Mokaev's gearing up for an October 21st showdown against veteran fighter Tim Elliott. He spilled the beans on the Believe You Me podcast with Michael Bisping, talking about the big bout and what's in store if he clinches his 11th consecutive win at UFC 294. While in his recent talk, Mokaev suggested his next opponent, even though he didn't waste a second before throwing out a name.
I want to fuck him bud.
Now we're talking. We're going through. So what do you think about the main event? Fuck off, boring. You're right. Here we go. Talk some shit. Mohammed, we'll get Paddy on. He can answer.